If you've ever encountered duplicate data, incomplete data, error after exporting your data from a spreadsheet into HubSpot, this video is for you. In this video, I would walk you through a real migration process from a spreadsheet into HubSpot step by step. And I will also show you how to structure your data properly so that you don't destroy your CRM relationship during data migration. If you're new here, my name is Emedion. On this channel, I help businesses understand how HubSpot is actually built and also how to structure it properly so that it will drive real revenue. Now, before importing anything, you need to understand what type of data you have. Ask yourself, are these companies record or contact record or deal record? Because in HubSpot, those three things I just mentioned are treated separately and they cannot be represented in one spreadsheet if you want your data migration to run smoothly. Looking at the spreadsheet I have here, I have a column for first name, last name, email, phone numbers, lead status, life cycle stages, company names, and job title. Pay attention to the company's name column because there's something I need you to understand. Having a company's name as a column in the spreadsheet doesn't mean it is automatically wrong. It all depends on what you were trying to achieve when you were collecting this data. If your goal when storing this data in the spreadsheet was to identify which company each contact to work for, and you're not directly managing or interacting with this company as a separate entity, then it is completely fine for you to keep the company's name as a column in your contact spreadsheet. But if your workflow involves actual dealings with these companies themselves, meaning the company is part of your CRM strategy, you have multiple contacts under one company, you contact different people within the same organization, and the company itself needs its own data tracking, then you shouldn't treat the company as just a column in your spreadsheet. In this case, the company will become a separate object in HubSpot, and you should create a different spreadsheet for company records before importing it into HubSpot. So the rule here is very simple. If it's just context, keep it in contact. If it is an entity you manage, separate it into its own data set. Because if you don't separate it, contacts and companies won't associate properly in HubSpot. You would lose relationship mapping, your reports would become inaccurate, and your CRM automation would definitely break. And also because HubSpot is built on relationships. This is the key principles you need to understand. A spreadsheet column is represented as a property in HubSpot. So if you have a column in your spreadsheet, but you don't have a matching property in HubSpot, that means you need to create a custom property. In this case, you have a job title column in your spreadsheet, but there is no corresponding property in HubSpot. This means you have to create a custom property for job title in HubSpot before importing your data, because the job title is a key part of your data collection about your client, and you should not lose it just because it does not exist in HubSpot yet. Now let's look at it the other way around. Let's say while moving your business into HubSpot, you might realize that HubSpot allows you to store more structured information than you previously had in your spreadsheet. And because of that, you might decide to create a custom property ahead of time, especially for better segmentation, reporting, and automation. But here is the challenge. Those fields don't exist as a column in your spreadsheet. If you create a custom property in HubSpot, but you don't have a corresponding column in your imported files, those fields are going to be empty after the migration. And when fields are left empty in HubSpot, you introduce what we call a null value. A null value simply means the system has no information stored for that particular property. It doesn't mean zero. It doesn't mean no. It's completely empty. And null value will lead to inaccurate reporting, weak segmentations, breaking of filters, and also it will make automation unreliable. But there is a quick fix for it. So instead of leaving those fields blank, always fill them up with meaningful placeholders like unknown, not updated yet, and not provided. In HubSpot, leaving the data as unknown is better than leaving it empty. So you're going to go back to that spreadsheet and then create a new column for the new property you just created in HubSpot. Then fill it up with values like unknown, not updated, not provided. Once that process is completed, ensure that your contact file is properly structured. No company column if the company is a separate entity. One role equals one contact. Proper header, no duplicate, and clean formatting. And once you check your spreadsheet and all those criteria are met, then your spreadsheet is ready for export. To import this data into HubSpot, you need to export your spreadsheet in a CSV format. In HubSpot, go to Contact. At the top right corner, click Add Contact. Then select Import. Click on Import Data. Select Quick Import. Click on Choose a File and choose the file from your computer. Click Next. Scroll down and check if all the fields are mapped correctly. As you can see, each column has been mapped correctly to the field type. If you follow all the instructions I just gave, your data mapping should come out exactly just like this. And click Next. You can change the name of the imported file. Don't forget to check the consent checkbox before completing the export. Then click Finish Import. So just take a look at this. There is no error in this import. There are no formatting issues, and all the contacts were imported correctly. This is exactly why you should follow my guidelines if you want a smooth and successful data migration from a spreadsheet into HubSpot. Now, after importing, go through your imported data to make sure that the fields are mapped correctly and no data is missing. Anyways, if you follow all the steps I had mentioned in this video, you won't have any of those problems after importing your data. Knowing that the key to a successful HubSpot migration is not just importing data. It is all about structuring your data correctly, separating objects properly, making sure your data is clean, avoiding empty or useless values, and ensuring proper association across your CRM. And that is what will make your system work for a very long time. If you're still new to HubSpot and you're still confused about objects, data structures, and how everything connects inside the CRM, I'm putting together a free course on HubSpot architecture. You will find all the details in the description below. And if you're still struggling with automation and lead nurturing inside HubSpot, I recommend you watch this video right here to understand how it works in practice. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.